Hi everyone, I am Alexandra Kearneyt and currently in my second semester in the mental health counseling program. During my during my undergrad at Sacred Heart University, I majored in psychology, and it was my junior year when I took Intro to Counseling 1 and 2 and realized that I wanted to continue to pursue counseling. So, although in therapy, giving advice is not an appropriate method to use when in session, I've always been the advice giver among my group of friends. I've always been the type to go out of my way and message someone if I see a negative post and it's clear that this individual is having a rough time, whether we're close or not. However, before giving a response, I like to know everything, not the bits and pieces or the most dramatic parts, but the whole scenario at hand from the perspective of the other person. I believe that to be a very important characteristic when making decisions and even responding to someone in need, etc. The therapy that I seem to lean towards is Gestalt. This therapy not only attends to the client's thoughts, feelings, even dreams, but it's the interest in the whole person. And so the key concept is the focus of the now in Gestalt therapy. Although it seems that many issues we individuals have are stemmed from past experiences, it is important to help the client stay in the here and now. It's to help the client make contact with their emotions. So from this, from the definition and approach to Gestalt therapy, it made me think back to last Tuesday, like a week from today. My housemate, we'll call her Maggie, and I unexpectedly lost our sorority sister, we'll call her Emma. And Maggie kept focusing on all the things she wished she was able to do with Emma and how she wished she spent more time with her these past 2 semesters. But as you all know, life, and especially grad school, was consuming the both of us. So in this case, Maggie was focusing on the past, the what ifs. So yesterday, as we were sitting in the kitchen, after we got back from the funeral, I knew Maggie has been having a really rough and a really tough time with the loss of Emma, and we spent a while trying to determine how she defined detachment. That is, how she gave meaning to the loss of Emma. So I also wanted to get some idea of how Maggie grieved. I was curious as to how, did she grieve with a degree of emotion and affect, or more cognitively by talking about this lost friendship. So as I listened to Maggie, it became obvious that she dealt with it cognitively. She did not really use feeling words and usually described activities done with Emma. Knowing she missed talking things over with Emma, I decided to integrate the empty chair technique and have Maggie say whatever she wanted as if Emma is actually in the chair. From this approach, it seemed more compelling and brought the experience more completely in the moment, which is what Gestalt is all about. This was an example of unfinished business. This can manifest in unexpressed feelings such as resentment, anger, frustration, rage, pain, anxiety, grief, and so on. So with that being said, I also thought of another scenario that related back to my life with the approach of Gestalt. So another example I believe to be correlated with Gestalt was the college application process during my junior and senior year of high school. As we all know, a lot of pressure comes into play during this time, and after getting into the colleges I applied to, I realized afterwards that I was more than just a GPA, SAT scores, and academics. You stress that your grades aren't good enough, that your SATs, if not the best, then you won't get into a good college, and that was kind of my mindset back then. Those were all small parts towards the whole. We are the whole, so I realized that, especially during my interview at Sacred Heart University here in Fairfield, that this might just be my experience, but I was relieved when I wasn't asked about why I did so poorly on the SATs. I took it 3 times and my score got worse. Or why my math grades in high school were not good, because that subject is just foreign to me and never was easy for me. But instead they asked about what I do when I'm not in school. They saw other aspects of myself that I did not point out at all during the process. I picked at my flaws and focused on them because I thought that's what colleges would do as well. I think this relates back to Gestalt because, this approach focuses on the whole person. And in this case, colleges look for more than just grades. They look at the whole person, what they were involved in, extracurriculars, community service, sports, and the essay that each college asks you to write. And despite these experiences, I think that the client can experience feelings and become aware of how they are controlling their life. However, I also think that a person can play out a past situation and feel just as intensely as if it were really occurring in the present. So as I continue my journey here at Mercy, I know I will continue to review all the key concepts, therapeutic processes, and applications of not only Gestalt therapy, but the other therapies as well. Thank you all for listening and have a great night.